Hello and welcome back to the Own Accord Podcast Twitch channel, Own Accord Games. Thank you so much for joining us today. As you are all familiar with at this point, I've been doing this for months and months now. Tuesday at 2 p.m., I am on Twitch every day talking NFL draft, ready to take and accept, of course, any questions. But today, I just finished up wide receiver week for this NFL draft. I'm very excited. I was very excited. This is a very deep wide receiver class with a lot of really good a lot of really good prospects and some prospects that I don't think are as good. So that's what we're going to start with today. And then after we're done with that, we're going to go over and check out Daniel Jeremiah's top 50 prospects. He updated it, I believe, yesterday. That came out, my prospect rankings 2.0 from him. He's a very well respected insider for the NFL draft, and we're going to check that out. But first, wide receiver rankings. We're going to go top to bottom because I think, or I hope at least, that's the most interesting. I just started running backs. Running backs and tight ends are both this week, but I just started running backs. Jonathan Brooks, shit, spoiled, I guess. But Marvin Harrison Jr. out of Ohio State University is obviously the wide receiver one here. You can see my top three. It's not going to look too dissimilar to a lot of the top threes you see this year. We have, no, we don't because the Big Ten took it down, but we did a live film room episode of me and it was Patrick from, oh, NFL Analysis, maybe that might have been the name. I'll definitely add him in the what's it called, but he we loved him. I mean, obviously, it's hard not to when you watch him and are actually like paying attention. Short shit to say because A, this we already have a video up on him, and B, he did this before I started making my big board. I didn't have this idea until I was a little late in the process. So some of these receivers are not going to have a ton written for him because like at that point, I was just like, okay, whatever, just get them down and make sure they're there and rank. But Marvin Harrison Jr. 1, Malik Nabers 2. Him and Rome are both spectacular prospects. They would have gone wide receiver 1 in many of the draft classes of years past, but they're really 2A, 2B for me. It really depends on what flavor you want. Nabers has some elite burst. Oh, we're reloading. Okay. Elite burst. He's elite after the catch, and he does a lot really well. He's got good hands. He's got good footwork. I really like his releases. He is not even that small either, so he can stand in there and take big hits. Rome is awesome. Height, weight, speed, jumping ability, freak. Um, Really fluid hips, does a lot really, really well. Also, really good after the catch. Also, like I said, really fast. Will be able to play outside at an elite level day one in the NFL, really. Um, it's I just value Nabers' skill set slightly more than Rome's, but I'm not spending too much time on them because I'm sure you've heard them talked about to death through this draft cycle. My number 4 is Xavier Worthy. Now, this is a hot take because a lot of people do not have first round grades on him. Some people don't have second round grades on him. And a lot of people like his teammate, Adonai Mitchell, way, way better. I very firmly disagree. I think Xavier Worthy is spectacular. He is small. He's listed at 172, but he plays super big. Guys just bounce off him, and he has just the innate ability to fucking get open over really whoever. Like he doesn't really care who's guarding him. He's going to slip and slide and speed his way into into catches, into being open, and into touchdowns. Right? He has NFL level speed already. He can play on the outside, but he's really good in the slot or at least on the inside. I don't see him being like a boundary. That's not a word. An outside receiver. He's good at playing through contact. Again, despite his size, when corners try to get up in his grill, he's not letting that happen or not letting him affect it or letting it affect him all that much. He's too fast for linebackers and most corners. I don't see a lot of people really being able to consistently guard him at the NFL level, which is why he's my wide receiver 4, and he got a middle of the first round grade for me. Bit of a drop off here, but not a huge one. We've got Lad McConkey out of Georgia as my wide receiver 5. I just love this dude. I think he is one of those prospects where it's like I don't really see him not working out in the NFL, even if he's not um, big. Like even if he's not great, like spectacular wide receiver 1, he will be good for like he will be good for an NFL team at the very worst at like a wide receiver 2 position. Just the fluidity with which he runs his routes and his hands and his ability to get open is so good. He is smaller, but he's also good at not putting himself in situations where he can get bullied around for being smaller. Um, his deceleration on in breaking routes isn't awesome. He really runs mostly to the outside. If you picture like a little zig route or a 9 route up the field, that's really going to be his bread and butter. He's good after the catch. His releases are really well, and his entire skill set I think translates to that NFL level really really well. Oop. 6 is Xavier Legette. I really am high on Legette. I think, AJ Brown isn't. I don't like comping people to, especially rookies like AJ Brown, but he's pretty close. PFF, I think, fucking hates him for some reason. He's their wide receiver 17. 17 for somebody with Xavier Legette's skill set is insane. I would take him at the top of the second round easily. He could absolutely sneak into the bottom of the first as well. Super big, another height, weight, speed freak, super fluid hips, really good hands, can body guys, can beat them off the release, um, makes really good soft cuts, which is just like you don't have to make a 90-degree or less cut, I guess, or he's really good at rounding out his routes. But when he drops the hips and chops his feet and tries to decelerate, that can get kind of icky sometimes, which is why I don't love his harder routes as much as I do. But if you just don't ask him to do that at the NFL, everything else is really good. Good burst, good speed, great catch radius too. I'm really interested to see what his wingspan looks like at the combine because I think it's going to be really big. 6'3", 227 for him, and to be able to do the things that he does at that level is insane to me personally. Here's a guy who you see as like wide receiver 4 for a lot of guys who I didn't love as much. I'm spoiling a little here. Yeah, Adonai Mitchell, I didn't love, or no, fuck, sorry. Brian Thomas Jr. is my wide receiver 7. I didn't love him. I think there are a lot of things to like, and like a second round grade for him is not bad by any means. I think he's going to be a really good deep threat at the next level. I like his body control a lot. I like his hands are pretty good. Wins at the line really well. A couple like fluky drops, but none that I'm like particularly worried about. Uh, he, again, not a guy who decelerates really well, like dropping the hits and making the cut. Really big catch radius. Like I said with Legette, I really want to see what his wingspan looks like at the combine. Uh, Again, I think I said body control. He can win vertically like that. Like it's just second nature to him. Really, really well. But something that did kind of scare me is I watched the Alabama game and I did not love how he played against the other guys in this draft class projected to go round 1 or 2, that being Kool-Aid McKinstry and Terrion Arnold. He really struggled against them, and that gives me a lot of pause, as well as some other small things with him. But I don't want you to walk away from this being like Ben hates Brian Thomas Jr. because I don't. I just don't love him as much as I do other guys. It's the same thing here with Adonai Mitchell. You see him as wide receiver 4 or 5 for guys. He's 8 for me. I think this is 8. Yeah, but again, a lot of shit to like. Super big and strong. Really good catch radius. Good hands. Amazing body control, which I love that. He can exploit the soft spots in the zone really well, like he's been doing it his whole life, basically. He is not as fast as I think people think he is. Maybe he's got some effort issues too, and I'm not usually a guy to say that because I don't know this person. I don't know Adonai Mitchell personally, so I'm not going to comment on like off the field what he's doing. But on the field, I see him kind of give up on reps. Like he's not a willing run blocker at all. Um, he there was a play against some team. No, I think I'm thinking of the wrong person. But I don't love how he does in the like run game as much, which is not a big thing at all. But I'm just giving you all the information that I gathered on him. I also wish he would be a little more physical in like contested catch scenarios. He's really big and he's really able to go up and get a ball, but I don't think he uses it as much as I'd like to see him fucking use it. Oh my god. Mike Evans comps are good for him. I like that projection for him. And if he's Mike Evans, it's fucking awesome. Like Mike Evans is a really good player, and I don't think anyone should be disappointed in that from him. Uh, Wide receiver, what is this, 9? Shit, dude. I gotta count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. Keon Coleman, wide receiver 9. Listen, listen. I I am a big Keon Coleman guy too. I think he gets a lot more hate than he maybe deserves. But I also don't think he's perfect like some people do. Consensus top 15 wide receiver for before the draft. His shit has really fallen off. But I do like his yards after the catch, his ability to do something with the ball in his hands. He has a lot of skills that play at the NFL level that are really valuable. He goes up and bodies guys, maybe a little more than AD Mitchell. He's got pretty good speed, even if it's not elite. He's got like all the physical attributes and tools that you would want. It's just a little worrying how, I guess, how they'll translate. If you want to see kind of what I'm talking about and a lot more of his better games, you should go back to when he was at Michigan State because that I think will give you a better kind of understanding of what he did and what he does well when used correctly. Because Florida State pretty much already had a Keon Coleman before they brought him in. Johnny Wilson took up that role in kind of Florida State's offense, and Keon Coleman was kind of left with the scraps of that Florida offense. Granted, he made magic out of those scraps and he did really well, but he wasn't used the best way, in my opinion. He wasn't used to maximize his skill set. Troy Franklin, I have at 10. Man, I like him. I do, but I don't see it as much as like the other guys, right? I don't see it as much as Coleman or Mitchell or Lad McConkey. Had some bozo ball tracking moments, which I'm gonna say again later in this, but I didn't love how much he got bodied. Like Len McCartney can get bodied, but he doesn't put himself in situations that often that allow him that allow defenders to get into his frame and push him around. Franklin, I think, does a lot more. Troy Franklin was the guy I was talking about, where he's not that good against the run because he doesn't really look like he cares all that much. I think they played Utah, and he he fumbled a touchdown because he didn't run block. Like he just didn't do it, and the corner he was supposed to be blocking came in and he made a play, and no touchdown. That's bad. I don't like to see that out of wide receivers. To talk about the good though, long speed NFL burners, catch radius, explosive out of the break, wins routes off the release. Um, not I didn't think his after the catch ability was all that great. I thought screens to him at Oregon weren't spectacular plays, and I think he leverages defenders really well. I think he has a good understanding of where somebody's balance is and how to exploit that. But I do have a lot of issues with his game. I have Jalen Polk over. I don't know if this is a hot take. Actually, give me a sec. I'm gonna check. I have Jalen Polk over Jalen McMillan. I don't like also that they have similar names because that's gonna fuck me up. No, it's not. That's the consensus. Okay. Um, I like. I do. I promise. He's going to play a really specific role. Um, he's going to run 9 routes and he's going to go deep on fades and flies and all that shit. But other than that, I don't really love what he can do. He's got a couple. This was the guy I said, kind of some bozo ball tracking moments. He made some deep catches way harder on himself than they had to be. Horizontally separating against man, I don't think is his strong suit. The speed isn't elite. It's certainly great, but I don't. It's not really in that upper echelon. He's solid after the catch, but again, the problem is getting him to be able to separate against man um, horizontally, not just on slants, but on in breaking routes, on zigs and zags. I don't love his ability to do that, but there are upsides to his game, and in the right specialized role in the NFL, I think he will be able to make the most out of it and be one of the best players in that role in the NFL. But I have a mid to late second round grade on him. Jalen McMillan, I don't love. I actually do. Uh, I actually do. Late second round grade for this guy. He has a lot of. He can do a lot. He runs a good smooth crosser route. His hips slip well. I like him after the catch. He's pretty much Debo Samuel because against Boise State he lined up in the backfield. So incoming Debo comps for him and Leggett. But no, Leggett is actually going to get Debo comps. And that's going to like piss me off really bad. It's going to make me angry. Or, sorry. I thought he could play through physicality better. I didn't love his ability to find soft spots in zone on like a curl route. That's something you see the elite receivers do, the Keenan Allens of the world, the Kelseys of the world, the Cups of the world. I didn't see him do that. And nothing I saw from him is elite, spectacular, game changing. So I think he'll need to go to a good scheme for him and he'll be able to thrive, but I don't think he'll be able to make shit for himself, which is why I have a late second round grade on him. Oh my god. Okay, I only have 3 receivers left. Devontae Walker, UNC. He got a lot of shit at the Senior Bowl because he was dropping shit. Can make plays after the catch for sure, and he's great long speed, good like 9 route guy again. Um, he can run inside the numbers as well. The limited route tree at UNC is kind of his big thing, and limited sample size is going to be a theme for him. He only played 8 games this past year, and he didn't run a ton of unique routes at North Carolina, so I didn't. You don't get to see a ton of his shit. Um, I wrote reliable hands when I first scouted him, but that's changed my mind, I guess. Because at the Senior Bowl, it was really rough for him. Just bad drops, which is weird, which I didn't think was a problem just looking at him. But again, only 8 games. You don't get a ton of sample size for him. The McMillans of the world and the Mitchells of the world all got to play 12 or 13 games. Like, that's not awesome. That's not really what you want to see, right? Going to Ricky Pearsall, this is a guy who's a lot of people love, but I really didn't see it, I guess. It, no real elite speeder burst, which is what people are going to tell you. I liked his body control sometimes. I thought he had good moments of good body control. He's good at finding kind of that middle ground, no man's land zone between safeties and linebackers in like zone coverage. And I think playing against zone will definitely be his what's he called his big game plan. I don't think he can beat man that well though. Like there was one rep when he beat a guy who put his hands on him, but other than that, nope. That was Lassiter's big plan for him against. That was Lassiter's big plan when they played Georgia, and it worked really, really well. And Lassiter isn't even really a guy I love in press man coverage, but to be straight up beat by him is not great. And some things did pop for me. Some things did make me go, "Oh, that's nice." But there were a lot of things where I was just like, "He's not doing this at the level I want him to, and that a lot of people are saying he's going to do. Right, my last receiver, I don't even know what number this is Roman Wilson out of Michigan. Again, again, Michigan passing offense wasn't great because they didn't throw the ball that much. They mostly ran it to Corum, who I don't love either. He's not that fast, but Harbaugh used him like he was really fast at Michigan, which kind of confuses me. I didn't think he was super fast. I didn't love his hips. I didn't love anything in his breaks. Good hands for sure. Can make some things happen after the catch, but you're never going to run a screen for this guy. You're never going to just put him on a drag to try and get open, turn up field. I didn't like how he played through physicality. Um, he didn't do well through congestion, which is a phrase I will explain. I don't like to really drag a prospect for this because I'm not in the room. I don't know if they fucked up or if somebody else fucked up or if the route combination is just fucked up. But say he's running like a sail concept or like a variation of mesh where a sail concept is just uh, outside receiver runs a streak, um, inside receiver takes like a 10-yard out route, and he kind of got caught up on other people a lot in mesh too. I didn't really like him. I thought that was weird. Um, Again, seems like a guy who's gonna need to be schemed open. And I might change his grade to like I'm going to. I'm gonna be a little mean. I'm gonna change his grade to a high fourth round live on stream. But that's it for my receiver rankings, at least. And now we're going to compare them to Daniel Jeremiah, who already I don't really love. I didn't think he had elite burst or explosiveness. I didn't. Yeah, but I don't love this. Jaden Reed might be a good comp. I don't hate that at all, but I didn't love his shit after the catch, really. Marshawn Kneeland is somebody I will have to check out. He has not been on my radar at all, but if Jeremiah says he good, if Jeremiah says he's good, no. If Dan Jeremiah says he's good, I do. I'm gonna have to trust him on it. He'll definitely be there when it gets time to do Edge Week, which actually every week for me is Edge Week. But this is the first joke of the show. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I made you wait so long. I'm sorry I made you wait 22 minutes for me to joke about edging. Um, Loose Pearsall at 48. I don't love either. I think there's definitely guys better than him who we might not see on this list. Like I said, I have Walker above him. Braswell dropping out. Okay. But I didn't, like I just talked about, I didn't love Pearsall. Peyton Wilson, a lot of people love, and he'll be probably the first guy I watch for linebacker week. Him and Edgar and Cooper, to me, are the guys that I see a lot at the top of the linebacker rankings. So I will have to dive more into him, but I haven't done that yet. Tavion Sanders, I'm actually watching today after I get off stream. Who is today? Is my backpack up here? No. My planner's in my backpack, and that's where I like jot down who I'm gonna watch each day. And I was supposed to do Sanders yesterday, but I didn't. Things came up because things happen. But I did watch Jonathan Brooks, his teammate. I'll have to watch him. I'm watching him tonight. I might make a TikTok about him if I feel at all strongly. Fisk, don't know who that is. Sorry. Malachi Corley was a guy I did really want to cover. And if there is ever a point where I'm like, I don't think there are really any other linebackers worth scouting in this class or any other like safeties or like any other fucking shit. Uh, People during a position week where I'm like, I don't really feel strongly about scouting any of these other people. Malachi Corley and Jamari Thrash will be the first people in line to get rescouted and replaced on the big board. But as of right now, no, it did hurt me to like have to leave him off, and I definitely really wanted to put him in, but I just did not have the time, unfortunately. It is unfortunate, but Junior Colson I haven't looked into. Led. No, man. Put him higher. Put him higher, bro. Put him at like one. No. But yeah, Lev McConkey is a guy I do like. Oh, Doug Baldwin comp is nice, dude. If he's Dougie B, I would love that. I would love that for him. Worthy is again too low for me. These two guys are top five receivers to me, and to have them in the 40s, high 40s, but 40s nonetheless, does suck a little bit. I actually want Daniel Jeremiah to agree and to reaffirm all of my positions on every player ever. And when he doesn't do that, I hate him and I never want to read his work ever again. Kamari Lassiter was a guy I scouted. I don't think he's. It depends on what you value, I suppose, because I think Lassiter will, at worst, be a pretty good CB2 for an NFL team for a long time. I don't know if he has like Sauce Gardner upside. I don't know if he has McDuffie upside. They don't play the same position, but I don't know if he has Sertan upside. But I am confident that he will be at least pretty solid for an NFL team. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, it's been a long time. I don't sleep. Morgan is also a guy I haven't checked out yet. Offensive tackle week is next week, so you'll definitely get a breakdown of him in March, um, and all these tackles, obviously, but it's not this week. I'm sorry. Michael Penix Jr. No, I am a guy who, if you watch my last Tuesday at 2 p.m. stream, I don't love him at all. I really don't. He does have that good arm strength for sure, but it does have to be in the right situation. Like, I don't love his decision making. I don't love a lot of his accuracy. I don't love a lot of his arm talent, although he does have the arm strength. Arm talent is a different thing. The least mobile quarterback in the draft by a good bit, including a guy like Bo Nix and even Joe Milton. Um, the injuries just really fuck him up. He cannot move around behind the pocket, and like he is stationary in there. And in the NFL, when you're going to be a rookie and you're probably going to a bad offensive line, that sucks. That's really not good. That's a really bad sign. And that's a long-winded way of saying I don't like Phoenix at all. Troy Franklin, again, we talked about him. 37 and above, Lad and Worthy is odd to me. Coleman, I like to see Daniel Jeremiah still kind of standing with him and being like, yeah, no, Coleman is actually still really good. I know people are kind of dying down on him, but I still think he's really good. I like to see that. 36 is probably about where I would have him too. Um, yeah, I like this a lot. This is very reaffirming or reassuring. Kool-Aid McKinstry is a guy I am super excited to watch, although cornerback week is so far away, it makes me so sad. Um, no, it does, because I'm really excited to watch this corner class, but I'm going in order of like positions and shit, and it's just not there. I'm really confident. He has a really high floor. Like I'm so confident he's going to be a very technically gifted DB for some team for a long, long time. And shit, if the Commanders can get him top of the second round, I wouldn't hate it. I would not hate it at all. Graham Barton, another guy I haven't seen yet. Adonai Mitchell, again, I mean, we talked about him above his teammate, above a lot of other guys I like a lot more. Um, no, but this is, I think, the right spot for him for sure. I think this is I think this is a very reasonable spot for him. I just don't agree with who he's above, I guess. Frazier, I'm sorry I haven't seen. DeJean, I'm also super excited to see. Um, I'll probably go on a big slot cornerback rant when we talk about Cooper DeJean, but that time is not right now. Darius Robinson has been shooting up draft boards since the Senior Bowl. This is kind of what we saw with Elijah Chancey last year. He was more combine based because he got a lot of the heat behind him from running a really good 40 time. But Darius Robinson was a guy who showed out at the Senior Bowl, which can be super important for offensive linemen and edge rushers, especially. And to show out at that and show up at number 30 in Daniel Jeremiah's rankings is big. Jackson Powers Johnson, I really do love. He's one of the few offensive linemen I've scouted so far, and he's not Tyler Linderbaum, but that is a pretty like high bar. He's as close as I think we've seen since, and as close as I think we will see for a while. He just does a lot really well. He's going to come in as one of the bigger, I think one of the biggest centers in the league already. And I think he doesn't sacrifice any speed or agility or hand movement because of that. I like him a lot. I like him in the run. I like him in the pass. I think He's very fundamentally sound, and I think he's athletic. I I like him a lot. I like Daniel Jeremiah says there aren't many holes in his game. Yeah, Johnny Newton I haven't seen yet, but he's high on my list. JJ McCarthy we've talked about. I like a lot. Really super duper high upside. Probably ask him to sit a year, right? I think that would probably be best for his development. Would be him taking a year to sit behind. Imagine the Jets draft. I would die laughing if the Jets draft him to sit behind Rodgers for like a year or two. That'd be kind of funny, low key. I would like that very much. But McCarthy's my QB4, and see him at QB5 because I know Nix is like right, yeah, kind of odd to me. But I understand it. There are a lot of holes in his game. There are a lot of bad habits that need fixing, but there's a lot of talent there, and there's a lot of upside. Bo Nix is a guy I like as well. My big thing with him is I don't know how much better he's going to get. I don't know like if he's already reached his, I guess, ceiling as a passer, and um, but he does a lot right. He's got really good accuracy. He gets in a really good rhythm. He gets good timing. Also a little steady in the pocket, but he can move around and he has good footwork to be able to avoid sacks while staying in the pocket. He's not as bad as Penix is this at this, although there are four QBs better than him in this class at doing exactly that. But again, a lot of things to like about Bo Nix. Nate Wiggins, I'm super excited to watch, but I haven't yet. Chop Robinson, I really like too. Twitched up is a funny phrase for me. I don't know. I just see it and I like want to giggle. But this is true. Super explosive off the block. He's like the best comparison I've seen for his like release off the line of scrimmage is like a track runner. I don't know if he ran track, but he is like a track runner. Um, Coming off the block when they're running a race. He explodes off that thing. He gets a full head of steam before he even makes contact with guys, and I really like that. A little bad in the power game, um, and I don't think his hands are as refined as you'd like them to be right now, which is why I have a second round grade on him. But I think there is so much to like about Chop Robinson, and I think he might sneak his way into the first round, which is a hot take. But of course, we're far away from that. Rakestraw is a guy I'm super excited to watch. Byron Murphy is not a guy I'm super excited. No, I'm playing. Um, Byron Murphy, I haven't done a ton on, but he is massive and super strong. So, yeah. Is he? Wait, who am I thinking of? Might lack ideal size? Am I dumb? Nimble and instinctive? I'm probably thinking of the wrong guy. My bad. I have no idea. Edgar Cooper, exactly. Like, this is the guy I was talking about with Peyton Wilson. A lot of people who I respect are really high on him. Jeremiah, obviously included. I haven't. I'm gonna. Give me a sec. I'm gonna switch to just chatting really quick so I can see if there is tape out on him yet. I don't think there is. Last time I checked, there wasn't, but that was a little while ago. Um, there's one game from him in my sources for NFL draft film. Oh, fuck. Fuck. Sorry. Sorry, guy. Sorry, guy, I get my draft film from. But yeah, I like him a lot. Latu is good too. It's the injuries, truthfully. It's the injuries that keep him down. If he was fully healthy and young, he would not have any problems. But I think this is his fourth year in college. I might be wrong. And injury history. Like, I'm sorry. Excuse me. It's the Dolphins saw it with Jalen Phillips, who was in a similar situation, a massive injury that made him almost retire, but he was able to come back, did everything really well, drafted at 15. He's had trouble staying on the field and playing up to his full potential when not, or when he's banged up pretty frequently. And I think those are valid concerns for Laiatu Latu. Mims, I haven't seen yet. Again, I'm sorry. Same with Guyton, same with Fatanu. Brian Thomas Jr. we talked about. 16 I think is too high for him, especially above um, other receivers, especially above guys like Leatu Latu, above Kool-Aid McKinstry, above Chop Robinson. Like it's a little crazy to me. Mitchell's a guy I'm super excited for. I love small school DBs. No real reason. I just think they're neat, frankly. Um, but yeah, I am excited to watch Mitchell. Verse I haven't seen yet. Latham I don't like at all. Technically he's just not great. Like it doesn't have ideal foot quickness or awareness. This is true. It's really the physical tools with him. Um, he's big and he's pretty fast, and people like that. But technically, he's not great. Fashanu, I'm excited to watch. Dallas Turner, I like a lot. I think this is a very well deserved spot for him, and I think he will. I mean, projecting way too far out, but I think he will end up as edge one off the board. Fuaga, a lot of people like. Alt, a lot of people like. Aaron Arnold at 8 is nutty to me. I did not love him. I don't know if I'd have him in my top 50, which hopefully, fingers crossed, nothing goes wrong. I will have a top 50 this year. I'll try to put that out at some point, but I don't know if Arnold is going to be in it. Bowers, I love. Daniels, like I said, I love. May at 5 is crazy, but when you see Neighbors, Odunze, Harrison, and Caleb all above him, it's kind of like, okay, I get it. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm running out of steam here a little. And I think that's where I am going to have to end it. Thank you all so much for sticking with me and watching this Tuesday at 2 p.m. stream. Like I said, I am live every Tuesday at 2 p.m. So if you like NFL draft stuff, make sure to tune in here. There's a knot in my hair. I'm sorry, that's what you see me doing right now. Let me see if I can fix it. Yeah, you just snapped the hair. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful, spectacular, really awesome day. Support your local libraries, and I'm going to catch you.